pre-race banquet the night before. We call it a sup-social. We were drinking a lot of natty greens, and when we walked outside, the temperature had gone up about 15 degrees from in the high 30s to 40s up to almost 60 degrees. So I was like, oh, it's going to be, maybe it'll warm up a little tomorrow. But the event truly lived up to his name, being the cold stroke with gusts over 25 miles an hour and bitter west wind. It was very chilly. We had to launch a couple extra race boats and rescue sleds just in case something went wrong. 2 years ago, we had a really windy race and had boards flying down the race course. Even though it's a protected waterway, it gets a little nasty out there.
So I think we're half and half, honestly. Like, through all the ones I've done, we've had windy years, we've had beautiful sunshiny years. Like the last 2 years, I've done it in short sleeves. You know, this year it's the first time that we actually had blustering wind. It was cold, you know, and we were, you know, really having to wrap up, you know, tight and everything.
It was definitely cold, that's for sure.
It was a hard and challenging, windy race.
It was challenging, really challenging race, 7 miles. It was, there was no real good leg, no really downwind leg, but the wind was howling today, a little chilly.
Okay, so we're standing here with John Bosang. Some of you have heard of him. John, you're gonna paddle the wreck race today. What's your strategy?
I'm gonna go, it's called tandem spooning. I'm finding another person who's gonna be right behind me, really warm, and hold on. And then when my front gets cold, I'm gonna move around the front and I'm gonna go like this. So it's a new division, and I'm hoping it's gonna work. But my goal is not to get wet.
And it made the start of the race a little bit tricky. A few people went in the water. I knew which way the wind was blowing, I knew which way the water was flowing, and I knew some of the guys that I wanted to stay with and close to. So I just kind of looked at a combination of that. I wanted to obviously stay out of the wind.
Picking my line was definitely a big part of the race. If you were in a stronger part where the current was, it was harder to face that.
So trying to keep your head down, you know, you're like a windsock out there. So yeah, I mean, the current was ripping and the wind was howling pretty good. So just increase your cadence, little strokes, and try to get upwind.
Initially, we didn't even have stand-up paddle boarders that were professionals, let alone racing boards. In the beginning, the first racing boards we saw show up at our races were homemade in people's garages, hand-laid up, which was no production race boards initially. Now people come with quivers of different styles of race boards and different beliefs in which one's fastest and best for their style.
Actually, that board is it's 23.5 inches wide. It's a big race tech, and at that width, it's actually a pretty stable board. The way they have it shaped on the bottom makes it pretty stable.
Make some tweaks. One thing I'd like to see is the kids division grow. It was really neat to see a 13 or 14-year-old win the whole women's division and the kids division in the rec class, and she won by quite a few minutes, which is really awesome.
I had a lot of fun. It was definitely a challenging race, but I did my best, and that's all that matters.
It's been a great journey the past 6 years, and the sport's really evolved from the first year. We had about 18 to 20 participants with borrowed race numbers and also some paper plates with race numbers written on them.
I have been to 5. I missed the first one, but from second on out, and it's been awesome every year, always changing.